welcome to So I Did a Thing. My name is Chris, and this is just where I hang out with my friends and we talk about all the cool things they're doing. I hope it is not glitching. Restream was glitching just a second ago when that video was playing, but it looks like it's all good. We got a few people rolling in the comments. Brittany Gonzalez, what is going on? Orange is the new black, man. Precious is here. How are you, sir? Phil Davis. Phil is going to be a guest on Julie Griffin's live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You're not going to want to miss that. I will be there backstage running the show, and I'm really excited because I've never talked to Phil before, so it'll be good to talk to him. So my guest tonight, y'all all know him. If you don't, then you're not doing LinkedIn right, y'all. Carl Sean Watkins is my guest, Mr. Vulnerability. He talks all about how vulnerability is not your greatest weakness, it's your greatest strength. Hey, Inger, good to see you, friend. D. Scott Smith. I squirrel out on the comments, y'all. I'm sorry. All right. I'm going to bring Carl Sean Watkins out before I get too distracted with all these comments. What is going on, man?
What's going on, man? What's going on, man?
Man, I'm excited to be here, dude.
Man, I'm excited to be here too, man. It's been seems like it's been a long time, man. It's a long time. You got the comments on fire already, man. You got them
already, man. There's all kinds of people showing up. What's up, Dan Roth? No, I did brush it right before we got on, though.
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, Dan? I got my comb, Dan. I'm combing mine out a little bit, man.
Yeah, I got a brush in the deal. I kind of hit it a little bit before I.
Yeah, that's maybe why mine won't grow, man. It won't grow, man. I need to get it a little bit longer.
So how you doing, man? So look, Carl and I have been connected for a hot minute on here, man, but we've never talked. And he was actually on my list I keep a list of people I think I might want to bring on the show, and he was already on there for me to reach out to at a later time. And he sent me a DM, and he was like, "Brother, man, what do I got to do? Like, how do I I want to come hang out with you." So I was like, "All right, man, let's get it scheduled."
Like I always tell my kids, how could I be down? You know, they don't want me around them, you know, because they think I'm corny. So,
not dad.
Yeah,
dad ain't never corny.
No, man, I try to talk to them. I was like, yo, how could I be down? And they'd be like, not like that. So,
right.
So, you know, I was trying to see. I said, well, let me send. I was like, me and Chris, we roll, man. I mean, we roll. Let me send him this like this. How could I be down? I think he'll get it. I think
yeah, because I'm probably a little older than your kids.
Yeah.
I might understand.
You probably can get it, man. You probably get it. You gotta stay in your lane. They tell me stay in my lane all the time. I don't listen, man. I don't listen.
Yeah. What's going on? Bill Bradford in the house.
What's up, Bill? Man, I ain't seen Bill in a while.
We are live on my LinkedIn, my YouTube, my Twitch.
Yes.
We are live on 2 of Carl's YouTubes.
Yes.
And his LinkedIn, right?
Yes. Facebook want to mess with me. They didn't want me to.
Oh man.
They told me to reconnect. I told them I ain't had time.
So. You ain't got time for all that. So look, Dan, I do straighten it. I do have a beard straightener that I straighten.
I think you do, Dan. Cause mine's curl under, so I think he's straightening it.
I do. Mine, I have naturally curly hair anyway. Back when I had hair, it disappeared.
Don't worry about it. I feel you.
Yeah. So it just kind of wads up right here when it starts getting longer. So I straighten it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
And you got your side showing up in force tonight, man. You got all kinds of people. I missed Denise. Denise was up here. How you doing, Denise?
Yes, Denise is up here. Denise, that's my friend there, man.
Mm-hmm.
We got the people in. I normally be able to hit that what I do on my shows. Because I be talking and doing, but I mean, you know, it's like they come in like fireballs. I think I'm just gonna pay attention to you tonight.
Yeah. So look, isn't it weird when you're used to running the show, putting the comments, doing all the everything, and then you're a guest?
I'm lost. I'm like,
you don't know what to do.
I'm like, I got my iPad over here. I got my other one. I'm like, well, how do I stay in it? And it's like I'm confused. But when I'm running my own show, I be doing everything, man.
I already know, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was a guest on Russ Hedges' show a couple of weeks ago, and it
Okay.
was like right before my church service was going to start. We started at 7. The show started at 6. I had to be off by like 6:30 because I had to get everything set up for the church, and
Okay.
so I was at the church on a laptop, and I'm used to like double
Screen.
monitors, lights, mic, all that stuff. So I took a camera and a mic with me, my extra one, but I'm still on this little laptop.
Oh,
And that, yeah, dude, I was so lost. I was trying to be on LinkedIn on my phone and pay attention to what's going on up here. And I finally just put my phone down. I was like, you know what? I'm just lost. If I'm not running the show, I'm lost.
yeah, it's a whole different thing, man. I'll be hopping in, and sometimes when I do the show with Charlene. Sometimes I'll be on our show. I'll be making comments. I have somebody else's show on the iPad. I'll be commenting in Nate's show, and then on my other screen, I'll be going to YouTube. And she'd be like, "How you doing all that? And you supposed to be on the show?" I said, "I'm listening and doing all that." I don't know. The coordination come together when you
It
the one got to
does.
do it. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. It really does. And like I didn't know it. I wasn't always like that. And I still squirrel out on the comments. I'll stop in mid sentence and do something in the comments.
Yes.
But still, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, quick shout out, real quick. I forgot to shout it out in the intro. Inky Black Design. They created my logo. You see down there in the corner.
It's
We
nice.
created my LinkedIn banner. That's the icon. There's another full logo that I thought I put in there. I guess I didn't. I guess I used the icon.
Yeah.
I need to switch that up where it has my full logo.
And I
But
gotta put this in for all the peeps. All the guys.
oh yeah, the sticker, the
Yeah, I
Chris
got the
Hennessy
stick. I
sticker.
got the
Yep.
stick. I got the stick. I told him I usually do a show standing up, but you guys ain't gonna see it on my chest. So I had to show. I had to show you the sticker, man. Because
The infamous sticker, man.
yes, man, anything is possible, man.
Anything is possible, man. And I thought, what could whenever I was trying to decide what picture I wanted to use for that sticker, I had posted that picture on LinkedIn like months ago, and
Okay.
everybody thought it was hilarious. And that was the point of it, right? Like I was not trying to be serious at all. And I
Yeah,
thought, if I'm going to make a sticker, it's going to be one that's going to make people laugh every time they look at it. They're going to see Chris's cartoon face doing
that was
whatever it was I was trying to do.
yeah. I mean that's cool. That's you though, man. That's you in a nutshell, though.
Yeah,
That's Brandon right there. That's Brandon.
yeah, exactly. Like people are going to remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing, man. I'm great at multitasking when I lose my train of thought. I'm actually really terrible at multitasking, but I do good producing a show, which is really weird because if you're doing 30 different things at once. Um,
It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to do, man.
yeah, I
Anything you
see
say.
you, Maria. Anything you say, right on, man.
Yes.
Kelsey Lips is in the house.
Kelsey, I
What
haven't
is
seen
going
Kelsey and
on?
chat
I
with
know
Kelsey
it,
in like
man. I love me
forever.
some Kelsey Lips, man.
Man, Kelsey, like me and Kelsey was supposed to get on the show together about a year ago now. Kelsey, what's up?
So she was on one of my very first live stream shows.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Winsenry did a 24, it was almost 24 hours. We didn't fill all the
Okay.
slots. Live-a-thon in support of trying to get LinkedIn to give us the laughing emoji. And just as something fun to do. And like she was one of probably 5 or 6 other people that was on the show
Yeah.
with me. Love that girl, man.
Yeah, man. I've been in the Kelsey left circle, man. It's been plus a year. I can say it's been plus a year. It's been
Yeah,
plus a
it
year.
has.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that artwork though. I love that artwork. I love that artwork.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing stuff. For somebody, she paints and does like some really dark stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And for somebody, like it's just kind of a contrast to me because she's so just lovable and outgoing. You don't expect to see that come from her. So it's like you know what I mean? Like it's just a
Yeah,
contrast,
you're right. Because when you talk, when you
Yeah.
talk about it, it's sort of like me, man. I'm like this cross guy, man. That a lot of time, well, I can't say that because when people see me, they see me. So I
Hmm.
am. This how I've always been, and I used to tell that to people before I even had a online persona because I did not have one before the pandemic. I'm just letting you know. I had LinkedIn. What 2008? I think I've been a member on LinkedIn. I was like everybody else. The 3 days. I had a 3-day system. Monday. I would check the job postings or check my little 2 or 3 people that I had in my connection back there, and I would just I would check the job posts because I didn't have a lot of people, man. I was
Yeah.
getting ready for this law school thing, and I didn't have a lot of people, so I just started trying to tag a lot of lawyers, and they like corny people because they never would be my friend. I would go back to their pages and it'd be pending for like months. I'm like, you gonna accept it or what? And so I just started looking on the jobs and start, just like everybody did, man. And I would post and check something on Monday and go back and see if somebody answered on Wednesday. And then Friday, I would check something out before the weekend. And that's how I did it
Yeah.
for, a long
Yeah.
time. Then pandemic rolled around and I was like, working from home. I had a lot of spare time. I went from the everyday hour to the projects and getting deadlines so that things was condensed. I pushed it out in a couple hours and I had the rest of the day free. So let me
Hmm.
go on LinkedIn and see what was going on. And at that point in time, people were just they were talking about their stories. And that's how I really got my first idea for my very first show. And it
Hmm.
was Carl Sean's Daily Word. And I would just come with a word of like any word that I was feeling that day. And I would
Hmm.
just like talk about that from the dictionary point, and then I would just, expound on how I felt about it spiritually, emotionally, like that, man. And
Hmm.
people just gravitated to that because I wasn't on there talking about, changing your resumes, getting ready to do interviews on Zooms. I wasn't talking all the work related, HR kind
Hmm.
of things. I was just talking
Hmm.
about, how y'all feeling, like that
Hmm.
song say, how y'all doing out there?
Hmm.
Like that. So that's what pretty much put me in the grind. And then once I had an ear, it's sort of like remind me of the '80s days when I used to DJ. Once I had an ear, I just started playing what the people want to hear.
Oh man, Carl, you used to DJ?
Yeah, I used to DJ. Man, I had the flat top like kid and play. Man, I was a
Come
bad
on,
boy
man.
back
You
then.
had the high top fade all the way
Yeah,
up
man,
like
I
that.
had that top
Yeah,
fade. I
man.
had that
That's what
top
I'm
fade,
talking about.
and I cut it a little bit. I had the little Gumby on the side, man. I had it all, man. I never had the girl. Don't let it be twisted. I never had the girl.
Never
Didn't
did,
play.
huh?
Yeah, I didn't play that. I didn't play that. Why
That's
you gonna audit
awesome,
me,
dude.
Rob? Why you gonna audit me?
Yeah, old Robert Berry in the house, man. I'll be live with him Thursday. I'll be back on Russ's show Thursday, and Robert's going to be there.
Rob gonna be there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rob's a
yeah,
busy
no,
dude too. Yeah, I used to
yeah.
DJ, man. I used to DJ. That's when you used to get the 1200s, boy. When it cost your arm and a leg to go get them 1200 turntables. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I had
Yeah.
the big house speaker sitting on the back porch, boy, playing the DJs in the backyard. Now I'm telling my age now, but
Yeah, I want to see a picture too, Robert. I'm
yo,
trying
yeah,
to
man,
figure out.
man, you know what? I'm a post to let y'all see it just to
You
see,
know,
just
he's
to
looking
show.
around like, man, I'm
I'm
fresh
looking
out,
around
dude.
because I'm looking at my phone. I had to check my Google photos because I
Yeah,
took a lot of that
right.
stuff off my phone. I know it's an old picture.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Rob, you ain't no flat top, man. Your head was
Yeah.
flat. You ain't no flat top, man. Oh man.
Right on, man. So
Oh
tell
man.
us about how you got it. What did you do before you started doing this virtual stuff? Were you doing in-person training stuff like, or what were you
Yeah,
doing?
I was doing
Okay.
a lot of in-person training, and it was like it was one of those things where I could do that. I did that, and I was like, oh, this could be something good that I could
Hmm.
do. Man, I get smacked in the face because that entrepreneur is no joke. I was telling
Yeah.
somebody yesterday that I said, it's a great thing where you could deal for companies and you can go by HR, get your little packets, get your little scroll, get your handouts, and then go do the training. Because they still handed out handout trainings when I went. And this virtual stuff wasn't the real. You still got the little sign-in sheets and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, kid and play, man. I do the dance. I did the dance. Yeah, but it was that kind of thing. So I really never thought of it as a career thing, though I had heard about the Tony Robbins and the Les Browns and those kind of people. I really never thought of it as being a career that I
Hmm.
probably could excel at. Just really thought it was as a job that I was doing. I knew the stuff that I had to cover, the things that I needed to train people on, that process of assessments and all that. I got that part, but I just never knew it on the scale of what I'm trying to do now and doing now. It's just a big difference, man.
Yeah. So were you always doing vulnerability, or was it just leadership training
Vulnerability
in
was
general?
always it, Chris. It was always the underline, and it was always the underline of everything I did. And I probably a lot of people could a lot of colored people anyway. Just watching the show could probably. I trained a lot of people that took my job. Like in
Mm-hmm.
the course of being in training and in leadership, even though I was always in lead, I've been a leader in my jobs ever since I was the fry guy at White Castles when I was 15. Like I
Mm-hmm.
always had a leadership role, but the responsibilities was often given to me in small pieces and in
Mm-hmm.
packages. It wasn't about you being the leader, even though I had the title a lot. A lot of it was like you the leader because you kind of like vocal on things and you kind of like so it's sort of like a puppet thing, so to speak. So
Mm-hmm.
in the midst of all of the jobs I've had and the companies I've been with, I just started writing stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, what's this big disconnect?" Besides me being the black guy, because I can always point to that. I'm the black guy. That's why I don't have the CEO, the CFO spots, right? I don't want to go that route. I say it has to be something else. It has to be a blockage as to why I'm smarter than a lot of these cats that I'm training, but I'm not getting their positions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I just start delving into that, and then I start delving into the psyche of people. Why was there a blockage? Why did you feel this way about me and you didn't feel that way about maybe John or Jim or
Mm-hmm.
James? And I just start writing that down, and I started going through the process of just writing. I wouldn't even say manuals, but that's probably what they were. I was just keeping
Mm-hmm.
notebooks of stuff, and I just start writing about how stuff was being inclusive and inexclusive, and how leadership was not being this way toward this one, and how cliques was a big dynamic, and if you wasn't in with the managers you didn't get privileges. And I started really eyeballing all of that because I came from the military and the corporate, because I
Mm-hmm.
was in the army. So in the army, that kind of thinking don't play. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
color you are, if the captain say that's what you do, that's what you do. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have that persona. And then going from high school to that to the military, that was kind of like my job training. So I never had the corporate training where I saw a lot of that, those
Mm-hmm.
differences, those exclusive perks and things that people got. And it was kind of like a rude awakening to me. I got out the army, I was 26, and I was going into corporate. My first job was Lockheed Martin, and I was kind of like, like, why is this like that? I'm just as smart as this dude. Why you got me in the mailroom and this guy in
Mm-hmm.
the think tank? I'm like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
giving him ideas at lunch.
Right.
So
Yeah.
those kind of things, yeah, those kind of things kind of sparked that gear in me, and I said, okay, there's something behind this that they're not saying, and I say the best way that we could do that, be vulnerable. I start connecting with people with my stories. It really favored me well in the beginning because I was at Lockheed Martin. A lot of those people had transitioned from the military to there.
Mm-hmm.
So I started sharing my military stories. I started sharing those things. And then I would see people change. And people would
Mm-hmm.
start looking at me toward as Carl instead of like that guy in the mailroom. I would
Mm-hmm.
even get talked to differently when I started like that. And I said, oh, that's the connection. And I said, if I'm vulnerable enough, that's the connection. So that's where they get to that. And then I say, well, how does this work in leadership? How do I kind of write this dynamic where leadership can get this understanding and say, be a little bit vulnerable with the people that you're leading. Maybe the connection will be deeper. Maybe they'll want to work for you. Maybe, I just start piling those maybes on, and it
Mm-hmm.
went downhill from there, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. You said you started sharing your stories, and that
Yeah.
is the kind of thing when you're real, when you're vulnerable, when you're just telling it how it is. That's how those connections happen.
And
Because
it, and it,
if you're being vulnerable, people
mhm.
recognize that you're being real as hell right now. Because you're not just gonna, especially as men, we kind of tend to not want to be, but
Yes.
you're not. We tend to not want to be. But if you can do that and somebody recognizes it, then you've got credibility, you've got a connection, you've got all the things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was really the driving force, and just give you a backstory on that. And I've shared my story before, and I'll never forget the first time that I done a training. And when you do speaking and whatever, you do trainings, you kind of have that icebreaker to kind of like. And I went to done a training, man. I was at Chick-fil-A, and I went down to Atlanta, and I had done a training, and like I just felt the frost, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
horrible jokes. I mean, like I'm not a jokester on that level anyway, but I would try to say a couple of things to lighten up. And then I just like, I'll say, I was okay. And I just stopped and I say, you know what, guys, I'm gonna share something with you guys. And this is like Chick-fil-A, like their leaderships is like mega. So I'm in
Mm-hmm.
there. I'm like, it's maybe a pepper shaker of us in there anyway. So I'm like, look, I'm about to let it roll. So I'm gonna tell you guys something that I've never shared with anyone, especially on a professional level. So of course they got everybody's attention. And I said that they have me up here talking to you guys about leadership and vulnerability. I say, but you want to know, I'm gonna take you back to the origins how I originally got vulnerable, right? And I took them through my story quickly. I said I was molested as a child. I said that molestation turned into alcoholism, which turned
Mm.
into addiction. The alcoholism turned into depression, and that depression turned into attempted suicide. Say that was my walk of life within about a 5 year span. So I
Mhm.
said I went through all of that with the determination of saying I was going to end it because I didn't have anybody to talk to about what had happened to me.
Mhm.
I didn't have anybody to say anything, and I had so many dynamics that was against me. African American man growing up in the city of Chicago, hard drugs, gangs, killings, all of that. Come from a
Mhm.
rough neighborhood, one of the rough neighborhoods in Chicago, and here I am gonna say I was molested. Not only molested, I was molested by my uncle, family member, right?
Mhm.
So all of those things, and this guy was kind of like he was kind of like the king. Like he went to Vietnam, he came home, and he got the medical discharge, and he came home, and he was like this king of the house, and he became my babysitter. I had young parents; they was working, going to school, trying to make better for me, and they had me young, and it played perfectly. And I can look at it back then. I looked at it a lot of times. So in school time, yo, why this happened to me? But the dynamic of it was it pushed me to levels that people couldn't understand. I became very good in school. I read everything. I wrote all the time. A lot of people didn't know that was the pressure of me not being able to talk to anybody. I played
Mhm.
sports. I played basketball, baseball. I always tried to stay in the gym. I was very good athletic. So I had all of these things going on. I did church a little bit as well. I had all these things going on, and everybody was like, "Yo, this dude is an ultimate student. He's an ultimate athlete. He's just like I'm the eye of people's I'm the apple of people's eye, but I was hurting so bad in the
Mhm.
side for what it took in place and what was robbed from me, man. My childhood was robbed from me. It's
Mhm.
no other way to put it. And I look back on those days and I said I run from it. I went and I joined the military, man. And I tell this part and I share this part a lot, especially when I'm talking to people who's on the brink. Because a lot of people say, oh man, I don't know why they thought about taking their life. They have so much to live for. There's points and
Mhm.
places of darkness in your life that you get. No one can understand where you are unless you've been there.
Mhm.
And no one can say, I know we look at it from a rationale and say, oh, well, you got a good home. You got parents that love you. Why would you put yourself in that? Why do you feel like that? It's because you get dark and you get isolated. And that's what happened to me, man. I was on a tank in Germany, Wild Flick in Germany. We was on a maneuver. I'm an M1 tank commander. And we was out there in the forest, man. We did a live fire. And this is me at 19. I got it figured out.
Mhm.
I was like, I'm gonna get out here. I'm gonna, commit suicide. We on live fires. The army will probably say it happened out here. My family will get, the money, and I'll be buried. Now, this is a 19-year-old figuring out all of this, right? And I just sat on the tank one night, man, and just cried to the top of my lungs. And they gave us a 45. That was our training arm. And I just pulled the trigger, man. I pulled it 3 times. It didn't fire, didn't click,
Mhm.
didn't jam, no bullet come out. And on the third one, I just got like enraged like the Hulk. And I just screamed and hollered and cried. And I cried tears because I said, I was angry. I said, I can't even kill myself right.
Mhm.
And this is how they come to this end. And I sat down and said, now we are in the jungle. Well, not the jungle, the forest. We're out in the forest. It's pitch black. You can't see nothing but the lights on the tank and our lanterns. And I'm screaming, and we out there. Everybody's supposed to be asleep because we sleep. It's the night, and no one heard me. No one woke up. None of that. So I didn't get this big Moses, Ten Commandments kind of part in the Red Sea kind of thing going. I didn't get no thunder, no birds. I looked up at the moon, and the moon shines so bright, Chris.
Mhm.
It was like the sun, and it
Mhm.
was bright out there where before you couldn't see me in front of your face. I
Mhm.
saw auras, and at that moment in time, I felt so much love. I can't even to
Mhm.
this day really explain that feeling. It felt like God just came down and gave me a hug, and that's how I felt. And I mean, tears gush, man. I mean, it was just like a sigh. And from that point on, I knew that I had something that I needed to do. How I was going to do it, what it was to do, I didn't know. But I started
Hmm.
saying to myself, you've got to be vulnerable. People has to understand what you're going through. And regardless of however we take on the things that we want to keep secret about where we've overcome, someone else needs to hear that. And I say, what's
Hmm.
the greater good for me? To hold that and die with that, or to release that and let someone else get released from it.
Hmm.
And that really was the catalyst for that. And I just took it from the personal and started doing it in business and started doing it with leaders. And that's where we are today, man.
That's crazy, man, because you never know. I mean, it's a crazy story, but you just never know. Like Robert said earlier, or Ann, I don't remember who it was, said, oh, it was Robert. You never know what someone's going through.
Yeah,
From
you
the
don't.
outside, you look like you had it all together. Good student, athlete, in shape, in the military. You
Mhm.
know, you never know
Yeah.
what somebody's going through on the inside. And if by sharing your story,
Mhm.
somebody can relate to that because somebody's feeling exactly like that right now
In this moment. And that's
in
why
this
it's
moment.
important.
Yes.
That's why
Yes.
it's so important.
You're exactly right, Robert. Within our mess,
Yeah.
there's usually a message for someone else, 100%. And
There
that's
is.
what, yeah, and that's kind of what, not kind of, it is what his, led Nathan and I to do the Ending the Stigma show, where we talk about, having been to prison and the struggles and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, because there's somebody else on LinkedIn right now going through the same crap
absolutely.
and they need some hope. And if you can just kind of get over that little bit of sharing
Mhm.
it,
Yeah.
we get DMs all the time, and I'm sure you do too. Hey
Yes,
man,
man.
this touched me. Hey, I appreciate y'all doing this. Hey, this. Hey, that. It's reaching people. Somebody needs to hear it whenever you have a story like that.
And you don't always know the thing
No, you
I've
don't.
learned about it in the beginning was I think it was I go back to a story that really set me on the path, because sometimes you could do this and you could have people be cold, and you could have people mistreat, and you could have people say, yo, why are you saying that? I've had that during the course of my life, man. I've been talking about this for about 30 years, right? I've had people over the course of my life say, yo, dude, why is you talking about that? Like, this is ain't I don't get on the talk show and just go this full route all the time. But I know
Mm-hmm.
pieces and points in place, and I've got this discernment in place where, yeah, this needs to be said here, because
Mm-hmm.
somebody's dealing with this, and I don't know why they done. I don't know, what I don't know if this may be their last time, or this may
Right.
be the last show they see, or this may be the last night they go to sleep. So the comforter that weighs on me more heavier than what somebody think about what I overcame already. See, this
Mm-hmm.
this is where we really missed the point. If we were able to talk about it and share it, then we came to a point of overcoming it. So if we're
Right.
overcoming it,
You've
somebody's
got the
in it.
victory already.
Absolutely. So someone's in it that need to understand how they overcome it. And
Yeah.
if I don't give them the escape route, then what good is that?
Right.
You've been given the escape route so you can share it with someone else. And a
Come
lot of
on.
times we sit on that and we let that be our pride to say, oh, I can't let nobody let me know I've been to jail. Or can nobody know I've been molested? Or can nobody know I have alcohol? Yips, fine, pass. They pass it. They know who I am. They know who I became. And this is what people have to see. Where you are right now is not where you're going to be forever. And it's realness of it that you have to talk about, and you have to say to people and say, yo, this is where I came from. And I do that a lot in my one-on-ones. I really get into that, because there's no release without it, without
Mm-hmm.
being vulnerable with someone, or without telling someone what really is the heaviness of the heart. There's no releasing you, and you can have the jobs, you can have the money. How many people we read about then took their own lives, and you look at it from the outside, oh, they got Hollywood mansions, they got
Yeah.
jobs, they movie stars, they this and they that.
Yeah.
That don't equate to the being the wholeness of who you are. And
Mm-hmm.
when you love yourself, it doesn't matter what nobody else thinks. It really don't. And that's I came to grips with that on that night,
Yeah.
on that tank. I said, okay, let me love me. Let me love me. Let
Yeah.
me make the best Carl I can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's coming to that acceptance, like you said, coming to love yourself and realize, uh, it's okay that you went through that, that you were at that point in your life. It's okay now because
Mm-hmm.
you're not there anymore.
Yeah.
And to love yourself in spite of all, whether It wasn't your fault, but if there were, like I went to prison, obviously that was my fault. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to accept that, okay, I did these things or these things were done to me.
Mm-hmm.
I can either live, exist, or die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. And I didn't want that as an existence. I wasn't that person, and I'm
Right.
not that person.
Right.
The thing that makes us great is the thing that will make us great is often the things we hold back. And they're
Mm-hmm.
just the little things that keep us back from being the true person that we really could be. And when people say that, and it's so vastly thrown around now, everybody, oh, I want to make you the person you're destined to be. What is that really? What is
Right.
that? People say your authentic self, share your authentic truth. That's going down into the depths, and that takes work. I can't tell you to work with me. I'm gonna give you 6 steps to 7 figures. I can't tell
Right.
you that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You working with me, if you working with me, it's not, we're not gonna get there. You know, we're not
Right.
not gonna work with me, and then once you done my little program, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to cash this $1 million check. No, if that works for you, let me know that I'm gonna start hanging out with you. Because maybe
Right.
I'm doing something wrong. But you got
Right.
you got to get to that point in place to say, okay, who's the real me? Who's the real me? Let me get it down. Not the facades, not the posts, not the likes, not the loves, not the photos, not the videos, not the filters, not the social media, not those who I'm seeking for that validation on the external. Let me find out who's
Mm-hmm.
on the inside and love that guy,
Mm-hmm.
love that lady.
Mm-hmm.
Then from there, people, and I get that too, man. I'm just feeling it right now. I get that too when people say, "How was that for you?" It was work. It was work. It was work. I'm bold in talking about it now because I put the work in to get to the place I'm at. But I ain't gonna tell you talking about being vulnerable is easy. I ain't gonna give you that. I'm not gonna throw that up in you. It's easy to do. Just have courage. Rah rah rah. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that
Right.
on the sidelines, right? Because I know the coach's pep talk. I played 3 sports. I know what they tell you. I know what they try to motivate you to do. I can't motivate you to be vulnerable, but what I can do is motivate you to find out who you are. And when you find out who you are and stop letting the external deal with the internal, you'll really figure out that, yo, that's someone else's perception of me. That's not even who I am.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, Luke,
And
I use the beard oil, baby. You can't see that
yeah,
shine on
man.
that beard.
Yeah. Look, I use beard oil too, Luke, and then I straighten it, and then I put beard balm in it.
I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to do that
Yeah,
straight because
man.
mine's curl under, man. Mine's curl under. Tell me your secret,
Yeah.
Luke. Tell me your secret.
Yeah, I know it. Robert was wondering the same thing. He just didn't ask.
Got to put it on, man. Got to put it. Get dry if you
Yeah,
don't take care of it,
it
man. It's just like
does,
hair,
man.
man. Yeah.
It is. I don't have any hair on my head, so I got to take
Nah, man.
care
I
of what
haven't
I
had
got
any
on my.
hair, man. I haven't had any hair since 89, 90
Okay.
90 no, 91. 91 was that. So I'm going on a little bit over 30 years down
Oh
here. It started
wow.
with that little thing right there in the middle, right? And then for about a
Yeah.
good 10 years, I was getting a low haircut. Yeah. I was getting a low haircut, trying to trim it where it look all neat and low, right? And
Mm-mm.
I went to the barber one day. I was like, just ball me. Just ball me. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Uh, Sandalwood.
Hey, Kenny
It's
DB,
sandalwood,
behave,
Kenny.
Kenny, behave, man, behave. Kenny start up, man. He start up, man. Oh man,
uh, so, man,
yes.
tell us about this. What you got coming up? Oh shoot, dadgummit.
The
I accidentally
vulnerability.
stopped. Yeah, I accidentally stopped sharing
No,
my
that's all right,
screen.
man.
I got it.
Vulnerability.
Hang on.
Yeah, the vulnerability transformation program, man. This is 4 steps. This is the 4 steps that I took, and it can't get no more realer than that. I didn't go create 4 steps off of Benny Hanna or none of that kind of stuff. I didn't take Tony Robbins and say, yo, let me get 4 steps. This is what I did. I introduced myself to vulnerability, and in the essence of that, all I really did was just introduce myself to me. Find out what my
Mm-hmm.
core values was, not what they said at the office, not what mom and dad tried to raise me as. What was my
Mm-hmm.
core values? What was the things that separated me from the other people? What was those kind of things? That's why I deal with the C-suite people and understand that. Then once I found that out, I just started breaking the bad habits, start putting away the stuff that I was doing to perpetuate those things that I didn't know was me. That wasn't my
Mm-hmm.
core values. That wasn't the things that who Carl was. And then I started moving forward. Now, what that moving forward looks like, start working on those things that accentuate you. Start working on those things that tell you you're enough. Start working on those things that put your expertise and power out in the forefront. Be
Mm-hmm.
selfish. That's really what moving forward is about. It's about being selfish. You've catered to others for long times. You've been in a circle of trying to please people for the longest. Cater to yourself. Move forward into who you be. And then you celebrate the breakthrough. That's just celebrating the wins. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
made it to this level. And the thing about this 4 step, man, is so really simple. It's a repeat cycle. It's
Mm-hmm.
repeat, repeat, and start over. When you get to that next level, go back to introduce yourself on that level. Take
Mm-hmm.
yourself through the bad habits that you may have accumulated on that level, and keep
Mm-hmm.
going through, man. It's the simplest 4 steps, man, I ever did, and it's transformed my life. That's why I asked, are you ready to be transformed? Because when you put things in order, I'm not talking about the diet that you got to do for 30 days for it to be
Mm-hmm.
a habit. I'm talking about everyday things that you do now, just change from doing them. Replace them with other things. I replace the breaking bad habits with moving forward. I start doing some of the things that, yeah, I'm enough. I start saying it to myself. Start getting dressed, put
Yeah.
clothes on. I start talking it. I start speaking it to existence. Power of tongue. Death and life. It's in the power of your tongue, and
Yeah.
that's real. People don't know it's real. It's real. Keep talking about you ain't gonna be nothing. See how long you stay not nothing.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Keep on
And
talking.
is this like a one day
No, this
deal?
is
Is
this is uh this is
how do
a 4 week. I thought I sent you that on this school. It's a 4 week, 4 step. It is a month. I won't say it's no boot camp because I don't want to scare people away.
right.
So that's why I say it's a guide. But we gonna do work. We do work. We do work. I do this and I start this. I've started it now while I'm doing it, and I'm incorporating that with companies and teams that I'm working for, and I'm writing up. I'm writing up literature for this. And if any authors out there, I need a ghostwriter to help me get these 25 notebooks that I got all over the place. No, I need somebody to help me kind of put this stuff in some kind of form or fashion. But
yeah.
yes, putting it together like that, man, where we're doing a guide, where it's an actual guide. We go through 4 weeks. We have a 1 hour Zoom. Well, it's about 50 minutes. We have a 50-minute Zoom once a week that we kind of correlate those things. We get some clarity on this stuff. We give you an opportunity to choose one goal. Yeah, I'm not here to work it all for you. We're gonna work on one thing, get the completeness of that, get that moving forward. And then I got, of course, coaching and those things if you want to get into that we
Hmm.
spear off into that. I'm looking to start a membership too, not in the essence of just something paid, but in the essence of having a safe space where people could come together and kind of float that and talk about their growth and be in places with people that evolve where, yo, man, I feel like that. I didn't get it all right today, man. I didn't get it all right. And it's not going to be no ridicule. There's not going to be no criticism. There's going to be lifting up. Oh, man. And that's why I need a ghostwriter. I need a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Yes, I need a ghostwriter. So, yeah. So those are the things. It's a 4 week intensive that I do, and we spend that 50 minutes on that. And there's assignments, there's assessment at the beginning, kind of assess where you are, how you feel about yourself, what are some of the things that you really want to work on, that maybe privately that you want to work on, that you don't want everybody to know, because you have to take baby steps in this until you feel empowered enough to say, yo, this is my life, this is who I am. You don't like me, beat it. That's
Yeah.
what I tell my kids when they get on my nerve, beat it, beat it, beat it. Beat it. So yes, and
Yeah.
that's I start that every Monday of the new month, the first Monday of the month. So
Okay.
yes,
And just carry it through the month.
just carry it though. We do 30. We do that every Monday. We do it. We kick it off on that Monday. And I like Monday. I don't like starting on in the beginning, in the middle of the week, because I like to start the beginning of the week, give you a purpose, and infuse that with the passion of you actually accomplishing something, and that carries through to the next week. It's much more powerful. That I've seen in essence of doing it with people, because I did start about, man, let's do Tuesday, let's do. No, when people get up on that Monday, when they don't feel like the ground, when they don't feel like going in, when they don't feel like pushing, that's the ultimate time where you get the results you're looking for.
Hmm. Right on. And
Yeah.
this is available to anybody in leadership.
Anybody. I highlighted that C-suite leadership because when I first created this, I said this is the ones. Well, I'm gonna say the knuckleheads because I like keeping it real. These are the knuckleheads that needed it. But then when I
Hmm.
start talking to people and I start really delving with leaders on a one-on-one, and I start delving, yo, why don't you don't bring this into our teams? Like we're not C-suite, but we got teams and we got some managers and
Right.
supervisors that's not really getting it. So I say, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to change the title of it, but I'm flexing it with everybody. We're doing one-on-ones. I'm starting to collect beginning in July. I'm starting to collect groups. So we're going to be doing groups, and then we're going to be doing Zoom groups, and I'm going to do that a little bit more on the essence of teams and what we want to build, and what we want to build as individuals through teams. What do we want to build with that? How do I want to be better at work? How do I want to show up better at work? You know, I may not be the leader, I may not have that title, but how I can create a safe space within the environment of where I dwell 9, 8, 9, 10 hours a day at work, right? You're there. If you look at it, I used to say 50-50, where you be at home 50% and you at work 50%. That's the average Joe. So if you're trying to be anything, you're trying to be higher, you're trying to go more, you're spending more than 50% of your time at the
Mm-hmm.
workplace. So that needs to be a place where you're growing. And a lot of times why this great resignation has gotten so much steam is for the simple fact people were on these positions and they were not growing. It's not that they
Mm.
didn't love the job, they didn't love the culture in which the job stayed. And now you have people saying, "Oh, you go look up the numbers." I think it's like 300% more entrepreneurs that started their own businesses since the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't no fluke.
Right.
That ain't no fluke.
Yeah. And so Ann had a question.
What's up, Ann?
Where can we find the information to sign up? Is it on your website? Do they just shoot
Yes,
you a
it's on there,
DM?
and it should be at the bottom there on that scrollshawwalkers.com /vulnerability or /VTP. V is a Victor, T is a Tom, P is in Peter. That's that Army talk, y'all.
Right. Heck
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I'll
I
make sure
love
I'll
it,
make
man.
sure I put in there. And I appreciate you. And throwing it out for me. I appreciate it.
Yes, man. She's good at that, keeping the chat lit.
Yeah, man. I got to give me a chat lit person.
I do
Well,
too,
I,
because I'm
I'm
doing it
normally
on
the
my
chat
own
lit
right
person.
now. I am too, and it's hard to do it sometimes.
Yeah, I just thought about that. I was like, "What are you talking about, man? You the chat lit person, man.
I
You got
am the chat lit. Thanks, Brittany, for putting that in the. She dropped the link in the comments too for
oh,
people to
thanks,
click
Rick. Boy,
on.
I'll tell you,
Thanks,
boy.
Brittany.
I'm saying, how can I be down with y'all? How can I be down? How
That's
can I
what I'm
be down?
talking about.
How can I be down, man? Y'all just go. I'm gonna give y'all the direct link to sign up. Just sign up. I'm putting there. I'm doing a little undercover work.
Uh
But yeah,
oh.
Chris, it's what it's about, man. It's who we are, and the thing about it is, it's not the strategy. It's not who we trying to be. It's who we really are. And a lot of times we
Hmm.
don't even really know who we are because we haven't delved down into those places. We haven't even talked about some of the things that we struggle with. We haven't letting anyone in to help us with those things. Uh,
Yeah.
I think I was watching the show earlier with Jacob and Rachel, and I put in the
Yeah.
comments that yeah, we all everybody say yeah, God will help you out, but what God helping you out, He's helping you out through people that's here, right?
Hmm.
So you got to tell somebody that's here, He hears you. We praying, and yes, He does hear you, but the help is right here with you. So
Yeah.
He's gonna. So if somebody say, "Oh, I want to do this for you. I want to be this for you. I want," you got to let the pride alone and say, "Yo, I need this." So you know what? I'm going to toss it aside. I'm going to be because it holds us back from a lot.
Yeah.
Being prideful, our situations they hold us back, and what they do is hold us back, and that's why vulnerable peace is so dynamic. Because once the connection is made there, people can kind of connect with you on a level that you never thought was possible in dealing with
Yeah.
people. Because
Yeah.
I'm connected with people now, and I'm like, never seen them face to face.
Right.
Never. I mean, but we are like friends. I mean, friends. Like
Yeah.
if they call me, I'm there. You know what I mean? And vice
Hmm.
versa. But I never seen them. Live over
Yeah.
some live over on the other side of the pond. I was hoping to see them when the Queen had all of that stuff going on in England. Maybe I thought I'd see them in the crowd.
You're
But
right. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I met some of my best friends in the world right here on LinkedIn.
absolutely, man. And realness.
100%.
And
Yeah.
it's realness, and we're not hiding from anybody, and we're being who you want to be, and we're comfort. It's a comfort in knowing that we have someone you can chat with, and you get what I try to do it on the lives, man. Try to go in on people's lives, even ones I ain't been on. I make sure I say it's first time tuning in. I'm glad I found you. Just let people know, that
Yeah.
you're supporting them, that you're watching them, that
Hmm.
you're caring about them, that you're valuing the things they say. Because
Hmm.
even if you don't take it in, I go like me. I tell Inga all the time. I say chew up the meat, spit out the bones. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the time. You don't need it all the time, but a
Mm-mm.
lot of times there's a lot of meat we leave on the bones. But
Mm-hmm.
chew it out, man.
Exactly.
Chew it out.
Yeah, because everybody's not going to be for you, and you may watch a whole hour live stream and not get anything out of it, but maybe 5 minutes.
Yes,
You know what
yes,
I mean?
absolutely, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. That 5 minutes that
No,
you got,
exactly.
that 5 minutes that you got was what carried you over. That
Yeah,
five that when I was out there on that tank, that couldn't have been no more than about 10 minutes.
yeah.
But man, it was such a. I haven't felt heavy like I mean I haven't felt light like that since that point, and like I haven't
Mm-hmm.
put anything back on. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
carried anything. If I made a mistake or if I did something wrong, I went and apologized to that person. I went and made it correct as much as I could. I went and
Mm-hmm.
tried to straighten out anything that I did wrong. I went like I didn't do the 12 steps, but I started doing all those amends. I said, "Yo, man, I was wrong to you. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
make me no less than." No, but it made me feel better that I did
Right.
that. You know, people I did wrong. Yeah, I did people. I wasn't always this way on it. I grew up in
Right.
the city.
Right. Right.
City, y'all. I got some tales to tell, but we gonna keep this PG.
Hopefully, the statute of limitations is up on
Oh, yeah,
most
yeah,
of
yeah. On those, yeah,
it.
on anything else, look, man. I'm a law student. I'm pleading the fifth, man. I know what it means.
Yeah.
I know what it means.
So, and I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, I do too, Alex. You're going to
Thanks.
law school, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. It's just finishing up 12 second year, going part time. So it's a 4 year thing. It's a 4 year jump. It's been one of the most exhilarating things that I've ever experienced in my life. And from the essence of that, how I wanted to come about it. You heard my story. I told a little bit of my story. First, I wanted to be a lawyer for the simple fact that, first of all, being an African American man growing up in the city, it was nothing to be mistreated by the cops or whatever. I said, well,
Right.
I gotta be a lawyer so I can learn what my rights is. That was my
Mm-hmm.
first push. Then the molestation part was like, okay, now I got to be family. So I started studying family law and civil rights and humans law and human rights law. And I said, yo, this is what I'm going to advocate for. This is what I'm going to be. This is like, that was my thing at the beginning, man. And then I started this. So I did a thing. I
Mm-hmm.
started,
Come on.
I started doing speaking. I started being on podcasts. I started being on that. And in the beginning of the pandemic, I was like, yo, I said, you know what? I'm going to complete this because I started this and this is what I want. So I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
take the education from that and I'm going to bring it back over here to me. So
Mm-hmm.
now when I come on your show, it'll be Dr. Watkins. When I come on your show and
Mm.
talk about things, it'll be of that nature. Or when I come and talk to people in general, not only would it be the 30 plus years that I've spent working and actually going through this journey,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be them alphabets because they don't pay no attention to you got alphabets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know nothing before you get an alphabet.
Right.
It's like you haven't lived anything till you got an alphabet behind your name. Yeah, I know a lot of people. Believe me, I see them every single day. Got alphabets and they flipping burgers. It don't mean anything unless you're doing something with it. So I figure I say, yo, I'm gonna bring that back into the training so you can let me in those places that will block me because I didn't have alphabets, because
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a doctor in this or a doctorate in that. So I say
Mm-hmm.
now those doors are going to become open, but I'm having those doors open right here from just right on this platform
Yeah.
that I'm in that process of just doing a whole bunch of things, man, and it's a great feeling.
Mm-hmm. So, are you going to practice law, or are you just going to use it and incorporate what you've
That
learned
that
in
is still
years?
I was thinking because I love debate, man. I love debate, man.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
you. I can see you. I can see you,
Yeah,
man.
well, me and Charlene talk sometime, boy. After the show, boy, y'all think y'all be hearing real talk. We be talking about real talk.
Yeah, yeah. The real talk happens after you hit
Yeah,
that
we
end
had
stream button.
the real talk after party. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really thought about the litigation part of that and being in the courtroom and doing that part of it. But I don't think I'm gonna go that. I'm gonna once I pass the bar, I'm gonna keep that and make sure that I keep the ability to practice if need
Hmm.
be. But I'm not looking to go into practice, and I'm really looking to go into teaching and training and sharing my story. I really want to I want to commit a life to travel and talk
Hmm.
because I think our stories are not shared enough. And when I say ours, I'm not just talking about from a black man's perspective.
No, I
I'm just
understand.
saying in generally, us as men, our story aren't
Hmm.
shared enough. The vulnerable pieces in our lives that we hold and conceal. All the times we really should be talking and really getting involved and really showing our wherewithal. We in the barbershops and we're talking about LeBron and we're talking about Jordan and who's the GOAT. When that's really not the issue. The issue is, man, I'm hurting. I got this
Yeah.
going on at the house and I don't even know how
Yeah.
to tell my wife. I don't even know how to tell my children. I don't
And
even know how to
that's
speak. See, these are the things that we really
yeah.
need to have conversations about.
And that's something that spans all races.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
It's all parties thing, man. And I've learned that more so now. I really thought, and I don't know, it's just naivety of that. Sometimes you think about things, you say, oh man, I know I'm not the only one going through. I'm smart enough to know that. But sometimes you think about particular races or whatever. My
Hmm.
first few conversations on Zooms, man, do you know they was mirroring my life? And it was my first few conversations. I talked to somebody from the Philippines, I talked to somebody from Germany, and I talked to somebody from India. Those were my first three calls when I went into my network and I said, I'm going to start doing Zooms daily. And I started talking to them and they started talking to me. Do you know we shared the same parallels? Same thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
suicides, all that. And I was like, yo, I was like, but you're Indian, like you from Germany, like you from the Philippines. And it was just, I mean, I didn't say that to them. I was saying that in my
Right.
mind. And I'm like,
Right.
yo, we all on the same plane. So why
Same.
is we going out here killing each other because we different colors?
Hmm.
The stupidity of it all. I'll
Hmm.
say that with insurance, the stupidity of it all.
No, absolutely, man. And that's one thing, like, being in prison, that's a very racially charged place
Yeah, I
anyway.
can
Like,
imagine.
it's you're either down with your people or you're not, is the way they look at it. And
Yes.
and even in some prisons in the more rock and roll units, you're
Hmm.
not allowed to eat with another race, like
Oh
have a
wow.
spread with them in the dorm.
Oh
It's
wow.
it's it's messed up. The whites and the Mexicans can eat together, but they don't eat with the black folks. It's all messed up. So I went in there like first 3 months, I'm chilling with everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the white guy that has the cliche "my best friend is black" kind of thing. But my best friend on my first unit, I still talk to him occasionally today. He was a black man, and we ate together all the time. And I got a little bit of flack for it, but I'm like, bro, like we all in prison.
Mhm.
Like, what does it matter, dude? We all
That's
broke
what
the
I'm
law.
saying. I don't understand it, man.
I don't understand
I
it
don't understand
at
it, man.
all, man.
It goes to that old adage of, man, we all bleed red, right? Last I checked,
Yeah,
if I go to I go with a cut to the hospital. You go to the cut with the hospital. I ain't gonna bleed brown,
no,
and
I don't
you
bleed
ain't gonna
white.
bleed white. So
No.
when we get to that point of saying that, man, and how many conversations have people had that you think the pure simplicity of what we're talking about should I should really cultivate into a knowledge that everyone already have,
Hmm.
right? We already have it, but we're caught in those races of, just like you're saying, even that we are prisoners of the mind,
Hmm.
prisoners of what we've been taught, what we've been told, the stuff that we're carrying it from generation to generation, the hypocrisy and the stupidness of the things that we're continually to do. But we're
Hmm.
telling ourselves that, we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it, though we're still continuously repeating it. Just those kind of things. I mean, look, I'm not Newton Isaac. I mean, the apple fell down on my head a long time ago. I'm
Right.
just understanding, like some things to me is just simple. I'm not black and white, but I mean simple,
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's how they keep us broke. I could get into
Yeah,
a whole, yeah, I could get into a
yeah,
whole
man.
speech
Don't
on
start me
that,
on that,
man.
man. I have to put up my fist. Don't start me on that.
Yeah, I know it, man. We ain't got but about 5.5 minutes left.
Yeah,
Like
we got Kareem. Don't start none. Don't be
yeah,
none, man. Don't start me.
yeah. But he's right though, man. Like I'm
True.
not saying racism isn't real, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist because I know it does. But I think part of it is, as long as they can show that division or
Yes,
try and portray that division, then it's
yes.
it's always going to keep us divided, no matter what.
It is. It is. And that's what it's designed to do, and we keep perpetrating the cycle.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's continuing. Why? I mean, why fight? Like we're in a fight with a system that continuously reruns the things that have
Right.
happened. Like
Right.
it's like me sitting in a movie. It's like Groundhog Day. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
constant,
exactly what it
constant,
is.
constant, constant. We going through, and I mean, we go through a few things for a few years. It'll lighten up for a few years, and then we'll be right
Yeah.
back to the same thing in a few
Same
years.
crap, man.
It's like, bro, I'm like waking up like I'm like Bill. I'm like Bill Murray, like, oh, what's like what? Is another
What's going
thing?
on?
Same
Yeah.
thing. Didn't I go through that? After a while, even Bill got smart. He started like taking stuff out and it's like, oh no, don't do that. He started like preparing you for what's about to happen. And we're still going through it, man. That's about the best way I could put it, man, and ground it. Yeah, like Rob said,
Man,
there's no
you are
profit in the
right,
business.
man. You are
That's it,
right.
man. That's it. Ain't no profit in it. Ain't no profit in it.
Yeah. All right, real quick. Let me see. I have Ann Small on the show next week.
We got Ann on the show. Ann, yeah, I gotta come
And
down and see Ann.
yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that.
Ann's a lovely soul. We didn't hit the Zoom and talk, man. It ain't too many people you can holler at and say Carl ain't Zoom with him. And that's for
Yeah,
real. You can be
yeah,
like, yo, yeah, the Zoom with Carl. Yeah, yeah, I talked to
yeah,
Carl a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago. Yeah,
yeah.
I make it not only do I make it a habit, because a habit tends to have that bad connotation. I make it a mission that yeah, I go in and or even if I ain't talk to you, you can tell people I ain't talked to in a minute. I go through my messages like, yo, I ain't talked to them like it's been 4 or 5 months. I'll drop in the A, just checking in on you, praying all is well,
Hmm.
all is well. You know what I mean? It don't have to be no long drawn out, who shot John, who gonna pick him up. I'm just trying to
Hmm.
see what's going on with you and see how you be.
Hmm. Yep,
Yeah.
Kareem. That's the Tower of Babel. The story of
Oh,
the
Tower
Tower of
Babel,
Babel.
but Kareem about to do the preaching in here. Don't do it
I
to me,
know it. I know it. Yeah, I can't wait either.
because I can go to
And
church too, Craig. I can go to church.
yeah,
See, I'm
right.
all facet, man. I'm all facet. I can go to hood. I can go to church. You know what I mean? I can go to I can go to the
And
boardroom. I can go to leadership.
you and you fit in everywhere.
Everywhere, everywhere, and I take it everywhere. I say it
Yeah,
everywhere.
man.
I'm on your show, your mom's show, your dad's show, whoever show I'm on. I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell them, God first, man. Always, God first.
yeah, yeah, definitely. How many shows do you have, Carl? You just have the one?
We have two. I actually quit, man, because it was so much work when I first
Yeah.
came on. Because I had one, two, three. I had three shows. I had the Daily Word. I had Vulnerability Matters, and I had a military show that I did, and then I had Daily Word, Vulnerability Matters, military show. Now I had Carl Speaks, and that was just pretty
Hmm.
much just talking about some of the things I like to speak. Then when I got with Charlene at one point in time, I was doing like 6 shows. I was like, I'm gonna cut this out because I
Yeah.
said we just focus on, and then we just started doing the real talk. And I came up with that idea, man, and quickly on that, I just came with the idea. Charlene was someone I met in the video challenge. And I tell the story all the time during the course of the video challenge. I think it was 20 some days like that. Charlene didn't come off. She didn't show her face.
Hmm.
So the last day of the video challenge, I was like, I just mess with people. So I was like, yo, it's like, are we going to see Charlene's face? So I just put in the chat. So people in the chat started doing like Jerry Springer, Charlene, Charlene, Charlene. So, she never came off. But after that, I think about a couple of weeks after that, I got a DM from her, and I was like, "Oh, I'm in trouble now," because I was like, I didn't really know her, and I was like, "Push the envelope, right?" And she was like, thank you for doing that." She's like, "I
Hmm.
appreciate that." She said, "I sat in that challenge like that. I didn't even participate," and she was like, "I thank you for that push." I was like, "Well, since you ain't mad, let's hop on the Zoom. Let me hear about you. Like
Hmm.
why? What was the purpose in that? Because I'm always trying to go into mine. What was the
Hmm.
purpose with that?" And we talked, man. And she's like, "Yo," she's like, "I've been in business. I've been building websites, creating them, coding, all this." I said, "Well, who knows?" She said, "I just do word of mouth and I do people's stuff." And I was like, "Yo, I got a show idea like that because I'm the think tank guy." I was like, "Yo, let's put a
Hmm.
show together. Let's call it Real Talk. Let's make it conversational, and we'll highlight the things that you'll get in, so you feel comfortable talking about you." That's how
Hmm.
that show got started, and from there, it just took off, man. It would be a year, a couple of weeks. It'd be a year. We've already done 110 shows.
Wow. What
Yeah.
time of day do y'all do that?
10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you guys actually we be on tomorrow. So you guys come check us out tomorrow. And we also have a show that we do our credible vulnerability moments. It's a series from that. We did like the Jeffersons kickoff from All in the Family. We kicked off on the Real Talk show and we made that into a series. Started as a mini series, but it went so well. So now that's a series. And yes, we have a website. Come check us out, realtalklivepodcast.com. Also, we have a LinkedIn page. You can check us out at Real Talk Live Podcast. We got a LinkedIn page. We messing with the IG now, getting that up and running, man. We doing it. We about to come out with the gear. It's for real. It's for real.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have
Yeah.
stickers too. We're gonna have stickers. Let me make sure
Gonna
you
have
see.
stickers. Yeah. Hey, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my buddy Aaron there. He was a
One thing
guest
Aaron
a
want to
couple
do
of
it.
months
Yeah,
ago.
absolutely,
That's
Aaron.
it,
Absolutely,
man.
Aaron.
So
Yep.
look, man, like we've had two people again bring up the
I still
picture
want to
with the
see a
high
picture of
top
that y'all
fade.
face. Rob, you know what? I was gonna say something. I'm gonna keep that between us, Rob. No, I'm gonna say it anyway. I do real talk. Rob, I'm gonna send you the picture as soon as you send me the information about this community.
Mm.
Nah, 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 nah. I'm mic drop that one. Mic drop that
Yeah, dude, pull it and Usama. Just pick up
one. Yeah,
something
wait,
and drop that
where my
boy.
pen at? Let me drop it. That's my man too.
Cargo,
That's my man too.
Cargo, Margot, Waldy. What is going
What's
on?
up, Mark? Man, Margot did
Where
show.
is she?
Man, Margot, I did show up. Man, we ain't got but an hour, Chris. Man, I'm taking up all your night,
Come on,
man.
it's all right. It's all right. Let's go.
We got Margot got a show that I was on with Margot, man. I think Chris, you're gonna have to outdo her. Margot sent me a 3-pack of clips with my little pictures on it. Gave me she sent me a whole little open on the air kind of thing. I thought I was on the Ellen show.
What?
She sent me a little package, man. Little I had a book bag in it, man. I'm talking about high bougie items. I thought I was somebody. And then she sent me this she sent me the videos of the show. You know how most people say, I'll send you the link and you can chop it up and do what you want. Man, she sent me an email, man, had 3 or 4 videos already cut out for me with the captions in it. All I had to do was post them, man. I said, now
Yeah.
that's love right there. She put me to shame. I said, I don't do that for people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't either. I'll send you I'll put it in the Google Cloud, let you go get it. if you
Oh man, that thing
if
was
you
that
want it.
thing was lovely though, man. Margot, take care of y'all. If you're not following
Yeah.
her, you on LinkedIn, you don't know what you're doing either.
Yeah. For some
Go follow
reason
Margot.
I can't bring your comments up because they're not populating in Restream anymore. I don't know what the hell happened there, but
Yeah, yes. Did somebody cut us off? Don't be cutting us off. We pay
no,
our bills.
we're still going.
Yeah, okay.
Comments just start coming over to Restream. They're coming in over on
Uh,
LinkedIn.
yeah, they probably say, yo, that dude Carl, he be on here too much. We got to cut off. Bring you back to the Malcolm X movie when he did the little hand and made everybody walk away and say that's too much power for one man.
Yeah.
They don't want me on there, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate you having me on, man. This has been lovely, man. Been
Yeah,
real
it's been lovely. You know, you have, and I know you've probably experienced this.
lovely.
You have some guests on where it's you get to about the 15-minute mark, 20-minute mark, and you're like, man, am I going to make it an hour with this person? Because sometimes it's just like
Yeah,
pulling teeth.
pull the teeth, right?
They're not used to being on air. They're not,
Yeah,
whatever the case is, and that's it's fine. We all start somewhere. I'm not knocking it, but
right.
sometimes it's a rough hour sometimes.
Yeah,
And
I
then
know what you're
sometimes,
feeling.
like tonight, you look up and it's already been an hour and 3 minutes, and we could probably go another hour if we wanted
Yeah, and
to.
you looking, man, and the comments coming in. Brittany, we got to hook up too. And Brittany, we supposed to be doing a Zoom, saying these names, and Kareem, I'm gonna hit him up with a Zoom. All the people that's in there. Kenny D, we got to hook up on the Zoom too. I've been trying to get Kenny on my show, man, for 2 years.
Man,
I,
Kenny won't do it, man.
he won't, man. He be on
He
everybody. He be in everybody comments.
everybody's.
Won't be on
I
nobody's
think
show.
Gabe Leal got him on the show one time. One
Yeah.
time.
Okay, Kenny. I see what's up. I see what's up. I see what's up.
Yeah.
I was petitioning for people to free you, for LinkedIn to free you. We're using
Yeah,
LinkedIn
I
jail.
know, right? Free Kenny D. Him and poor
Yeah,
Kenny.
man. I
They
had posters and t-shirts made up.
permanently suspended his account. So he came back. Came
Yeah,
back
yeah.
under another name.
Hey, man, that must have worked out good though, because he's been mild mannered. I haven't seen him on any.
He ain't told anybody he was gonna bitch slap him lately.
Oh man, Kenny. That's why I say when he come on, I say behave, man. Behave, because he can go south real quick with Kenny, man.
The thing is it's all in good fun with him. Like people
It
take him
is, man. It
serious
is, man.
sometimes, man. But it's
He'll
like,
take it once he gets done with them delectable scrumptious. But the next thing you know, you don't know which way he going after that, though. You don't know, man.
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like when Jacob Schwer shows up in the comments. You don't know what he's fixing to
Yeah,
say.
you don't know what's gonna go on, man. Yeah. Make sure you guys too. I'm gonna shoot that out to him, man, before we close up, man. Make sure y'all go and check out that GoFundMe for Jacob, man. It takes a lot of courage to even talk about some of the things that he's talking about, what he's going through, man. But you guys make sure that you go and look out for, because it could be one of us, could be any of
It could,
us.
and I'm fixing
You
to
know what I mean?
drop the
We
link.
just, even though we have things that we think we in things, man. I used to always say, it's a paycheck away from being homeless. Because if they cut
Yeah,
off your
man.
funds, and you can't pay nothing. You see how quick it start going downhill.
Yeah.
So, we have to have that grace, man, and God put us here to help each other. So,
Yeah.
regardless of the situation, man, everybody don't know how to ask, but sometimes it takes people with that heart, such as Chris, man, it's you, man. It takes people like you with that heart to sometimes push the nudge out, kind of nudge people. Yo, you need this, man. It's okay. It's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. So you guys go, because I'm gonna make a donation on there as well, and I think you guys should help him out, man. Help his family out and help him out, and he'd be the stronger for it. And you don't have to
Oh
look
yeah.
weak. You don't have to look weak in it. We all been there.
Yeah.
We all been there. Maybe not this particular situation, but you've been somewhere where you needed somebody.
Yeah.
It's just made like that.
Yeah. It is. And just a quick update for everyone. We're up to just a little over $6,600 on it. The goal was 10,000. Jacob is going to get to stay in the
Awesome.
house. He got all that worked out.
Okay.
But this will help them
Get
get
up the
caught
road.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he told me, man, he said, I've got a car, our other car, not the one that was in the driveway. I think a different one.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, the air conditioner was out on it, so they hadn't been driving it. He lives in Missouri in the summer. It's June right now. The air
Ooh, yeah.
conditioner.
That's
So he
hot,
said,
man.
"Man, I'll be able to get my air conditioner fixed, man. So we'll
Yeah.
have be back to
He
having
don't
two
need that on
cars."
there, man. He's sitting in that
Yeah, I
car.
know, right?
Sorry, man. I'm from Chicago. That Illinois, we right across the water. Boy, it get triple digits, just like it
Yeah,
do everywhere else. Where you sit in there,
yeah.
he get dark as me. I don't want him to get dark. Oh, you see him in there, boy. He be real dark and red hair. I don't know how Jacob gonna look.
Man, I don't think Jacob could get dark, man. I think he'll get bright red and then
Yeah,
right back to white.
he get beat red first, man. He get beat red first. Man, this is
Uh,
awesome, man. I had some fun tonight, man. I ain't laughed like this in a minute, man. But it's good.
it's good.
Laughter does a heart good like medicine, man. So it's definitely good.
Carl, are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I went on there. I think
Brittany
when they birthed it, I
Brittany
was
asked.
yes, Carl Sean's Daily Word, I think it. Carl Sean's Daily. I ain't been on there in a minute, man. Let me get my Twitter my Twitter. I think it's on there. Yeah. Yes, it's yeah, that's messed up when you don't know your own name and stuff. Huh?
You ain't been on there very much, you can tell.
I ain't been on. Yeah, it's at Carl Sean's Daily. So that's if you want to hit me up on Twitter. Yes, I'm so famous on Twitter. I got 44 followers and I'm following 35 people. So I'm moving up.
Yes.
I'm trying to get to the triple digit club. So yes, follow me.
Yeah.
Follow me
I'm
on
just trying to get to the triple digits on my YouTube channel where I can have a custom
man.
URL.
YouTube, I got 2 YouTube channels and between them I don't think I got 100 people.
No,
That's
I don't.
ridiculous.
I have 70, I think, 70 something maybe.
Yeah, I think I got
But I don't
40.
push it. I
Yeah,
use it just for a library. I don't really push it too much, but it would be nice to have that custom URL. So if y'all aren't subscribed to
I
both
know,
of our
right?
YouTube channels, y'all go
Absolutely, man.
subscribe. Just help us out, man. You don't have to ring the bell to get notified. Just help
Mm-mm.
us out.
No, just have a spread the word. Spread the
Yeah.
word. Make that part of your social.
Yeah, right. All right, man. We're gonna get off here. Thank y'all so much,
Yes,
everybody in the
man. Thanks
comments that
everybody
showed
for
up.
tuning in. I
Carl,
appreciate y'all, man. Bro, you blew up the comments, man. You look like you had 100 plus, man. I
yeah,
appreciate it, y'all. Go check that out, carlshawnwatkins.com
CarlShawWatkins.com.
/VTP. Go check that out. Vulnerable. I can't even think of my own program. That's what happens when you talk on TV all day.
Yeah, I know, right?
Vulnerability Transformation Program. Go there. We start every month. Next one will be right after the holidays, like July 5th. So next one is July 5th. You guys get
All
in after
right.
you eat up all that barbecue and let me work it out.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. We're gonna get off here. And Small is next
Appreciate
week.
you guys.
7 o'clock Central Standard Time next Wednesday on Ending the
Yeah.
Stigma. There is not going to be a guest. Well, we are going to do a prison cooking show, and we are going to cook some stuff that we
Oh, awesome, man.
cooked on the dorm out of instant foods and water out of a hot pot.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all get some
Yeah,
real life then.
yeah,
Go get
some
your
real life
popcorn.
there. I kind of got halfway fancy here and playing around with different camera angles, trying to get a different camera so y'all can kind of
Oh,
see. Yeah, man.
yeah, that's what real live streamers do. No, that's
Yeah,
what real live
I don't have
streamers.
a stream deck though to make it easy
Yeah,
to.
you got to get one of them. Oh man, what's my man Chris? Chris Bullet. What's it? Bullet Bellini. You gotta get one of him, man. He got the desk rig, man. He got the walk around kits. He
Oh
unfold them. Yeah, you see, so like James Bond, walk around with all that in the backpack.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
All right, we're gonna get off here. Otherwise, we're
All
gonna
right.
go for another hour, man. Thank y'all
That's
so
it,
much for
man.
coming,
That's it, man.
Carl. It
Appreciate
was a
y'all coming
pleasure,
out.
man.
Rob, I'm gonna shoot you the high top fade, man.
Yeah, we expect to post on LinkedIn pretty soon with it.
Absolutely,
Tie
man.
it
We
into
trying to get
vulnerability somehow. You got this.
I'm gonna tag both of y'all on that so y'all
Yeah,
see.
do it, man. All
All
right,
right, Chris,
y'all. We'll
man.
see
Thanks for
y'all
having me, man.
later.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.